We all prefer things a certain way, like groceries. If you want groceries just how you like them, you gotta try Instacart. They have a new preference picker that lets you pick how ripe or unripe you want your bananas. Shoppers can see your preferences up front, helping guide their choices. Because when it comes to groceries, the details matter. Instacart. Get groceries just how you like.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Up, a podcast where we talk about pop music. We're halfway through our deep dive of the UK Top 10 Singles Chart from the 21st of June 1954. I'm James Cook.
I'm Andy Robinson. The 21st of June 1954, only 12 songs in the top 10, something like that. We might as well recount what you might have just missed.
Down one place to number 10, it's Changing Partners by K-Star.
A waltz about waltzing.
A new entry at number 9, it will get to number 1 for 10 weeks. It's Cara Mia by David Whitfield with Mantovani.
To get that throb in his voice, he was goosed, which is a sentence I'd never thought I'd say on the internet.
It's a non-mover at 8. It's The Gang That Sang Heart of My Heart by Max Bygraves.
You can still find it on box sets in charity shops.
Down 2 to 7, it's Someone Else's Roses by Joan Regan.
Valentine's Day's gone wrong.
A non-mover at 6, it's Oh Baby Mine, I Get So Lonely by The Four Knights.
Possibly a glimpse of musical things to come.
You can hear all those songs for yourself by going to the Spotify or YouTube playlists that we have linked to in the description.
Always like to give you a push towards a playlist either before, during or after this podcast, because not only does it make more sense of what me and James are banging on about, also another great 12 records.
Yes, there are 12 records in the chart this week in total, which means in our bonus tracks, we're only covering 2. But we're going to do the podcast anyway.
We're going to find some new stuff to talk about.
And here's what that's going to sound like. A re-entry at number 12, it's Wanted by Al Martino.
That's right, we did this song by Perry Como in the top 10, didn't we?
Yes.
What do you think of this one?
It is more or less exactly the same.
Join our community now at patreon.com/ShoobyPodcast.
Number 5.
Down 1 to number 5 this week. It's The Happy Wanderer by the Oban Kirken Children's Choir. As we have just mentioned, these songs are in our Spotify and YouTube playlists. Early doors, have a listen to this song. Where do I recognise this song from, James? Where's it? I know this tune.
Yeah, this tune has become popular. You know, it shows up loads, doesn't it, in different things.
The hook. I don't need to do the guitar. I'm just going to do it Acapulco.
The Falderie, Faldera bit.
It goes Falderie, Faldera, Falderie, Faldera. You recognise it, or you will do if you listen to it.
Yeah, it's got a nice bit of laughing in it. Ha 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 ha.
Very, very appealing, this record this week.
You mentioned in the part 1 about how meat rationing had just ended in 1954.
That's right, that was one of the things I said.
Britain very much still in the shadow of the Second World War. And yet, who would think that just 9 years after that war ended, there'd be a song sung by German children in German in the charts? And this was a big seller. It was the 5th biggest seller of the year.
Blimey.
You'd think British people would run a mile.
Biggles 485 on YouTube about this record. You can maybe guess, but maybe not. He says, beautiful singing made me think, how could we have fought with this nation in 2 world wars? I mean, Biggles 485 is backing up your point.
I mean, there are reasons why those wars happened, but I mean, it is a children's choir, so it's not them.
No.
We can't pin it on them.
No. As someone else on YouTube says, they can all sing, they can all stay in tune, and they sing with joy. How far have we fallen?
Well, no one sings with joy anymore. Oh, is that what we're saying?
You know, it's YouTube comments. There's always a touch of that.
So I started looking into other songs that are in the German language that have got into the UK charts.
Okay.
There's hardly any.
Elvis, I'm going to proffer.
Well, yeah, loads of people, like the Beatles recorded a bunch of songs in German, didn't they?
Come give me a deine Hand.
Yeah, but-
Sie liebt dich, ja, ja, ja.
But these were all to be released in Germany.
Yeah.
And then there were some German artists like, Nina, 99 Luftballon. She re-recorded it into English to release over here. So what we had over here was the English version. So in terms of songs that are in the German language, hardly any.
As I mentioned, Elvis, just because I want to say him again, Wooden Heart with the Mubiden, Zoom, Steteli in Naus section. I asked a German girl once what it meant. It doesn't mean can't you say I love you, won't you break my heart until I can't remember. It's something about will you love me forever and a bit all that. You can imagine. And also, there was a little notion in there, in one of the sentences Elvis snuck in, that he was going to invade Poland.
What is it now? 70 years? 80 years since that war ended. And yet we British people are still doing jokes about it.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
And yet, 9 years after, this is in the charts. Can you think of any German language songs that got to be hits in the UK?
We've just mentioned some, but others.
No, they weren't hits here because...
Wooden Heart wasn't a hit here.
Is there a line in German?
In Wooden Heart?
Yeah.
There's a whole verse.
All right, well, that's just one verse. I'm talking about songs that are more or less entirely in German.
Okay, let's have a deep think about this. Songs in... what about that da, ya, da, da one? That's Germanish, isn't it? Da, da.
Trio.
Trio, I want a trio. Susie's too loud. That's a reference to an old advert. We have gone completely off script. Other songs in German.
They did an English language version of it to be released here, although it was originally in German. That was a thing that happened.
Were the Scorpions German? Is Wind of Change one?
Originally, and then they re-recorded it in English. So German bands would just often re-record in English to release over here. Kraftwerk and The Model was originally in German, but the version that charted here was in English. The only ones I could
Quite
find...
right, too. If you're going to come over here, learn our language. I'm being ridiculous.
Rock Me Amadeus has lots of stuff in German, but of course Falco is Austrian. And Rammstein
of course
had 7 top 75 hits, but nothing gets higher than Ich Will, which gets to number 30. But otherwise, nothing really. What would you say is the biggest selling German single in the UK?
I don't know.
Well, do you consider Boney M to be German?
I don't know what I consider Boney M to be, but yes, certainly.
He's a German producer and they were based in Germany, but the people in the band were from all over the place.
I'm saying they're not German.
Okay, well, if you did, it would be Rivers of Babylon by Boney M. But if you don't, then it's Mambo Number 5 by Louis Bega.
Louis Bega's German?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
A little bit of Eva on my mind.
Again, 80 years since the war. So, in many ways, this was a trailblazer for songs that then never happened. German language song. Oh, there'll be loads of these now. No, there won't.
Yeah.
There won't be any.
Or you might have thought, a bit like the 50s heartthrobs we did, one of which is coming up later, kicked the doors open for Elvis. Maybe loads of children's choirs could have been popular, but it was only the one of singing about Grandma.
Yeah, St Winifred School Choir. Yeah, and they show up from time to time. They showed up with Tina Turner.
That's right. They sang a Tina Turner song.
Yeah, not this choir, but our children's choir.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Children's choirs show up from
They
time to
pop
time.
up left, right and centre. I'm on about a choir being the focus.
So what do you know of the Obenkirchen Children's Choir?
That they were all war orphans.
Yes.
Go on, I'm all ears.
Well, let's talk about the song. So the lyrics are based on a German poem called Wanderlust, which was written in 1847 by Florence Friedrich Sigismund.
I heard the English language version a little bit. I like the lyrics to it. If the German version means what the English translation was.
Pretty much.
I was into the concept
So
of it.
my father was a wanderer.
Yeah.
He'd wander around with a backpack on his back. Faldery, ha 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 ha.
And the clue in the title of it was happy wandering around.
Yeah. Or sometimes known as the Merry Wanderer. The music was written by Friedrich Wilhelm Moller. Before the Second World War, he was a band leader. So in the Second World War, he was deployed to entertain the troops. After the war, he moves to Obenkirchen to be near his younger sister, who was caring for refugee children, war orphans, of which there were quite a lot. There was a choir made of the kids in this community, and Friedrich took some famous fairy tales and set them to music. and one of the fairy tales was the poem Wanderlust, and he wrote the music to it. The Obenkirchen Children's Choir were also known as the Schaumburg Fairy Tale Singers. Yeah. And then, to encourage reconciliation and partnership between the UK and Germany, the British military government of Germany at the time arranged a cultural exchange with a choir from Ipswich. So the Obenkirchen Choir come over here to Ipswich.
Singing our songs.
And then we send a choir from Ipswich over there. Don't know what happened to them. The Ipswich Children's Choir never charted, as far as I can tell.
Maybe, James, there's two German fellas stuck in a shed as we speak, talking about the Ipswich Choir. It had a top 10 hit in the mid-50s.
So in 1953, the Obenkirchen Children's Choir go to the Eisteddfod in Llangollen, and they win it. And the legend is that they were practicing singing The Happy Wanderer. Some technicians from the BBC who were hanging around heard them do it, grabbed some recording equipment and went, do it again, do it again.
Okay.
And that's the recording.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's the legend anyway.
All right.
So within 3 days of them recording that, the BBC are playing it all over the radio, becomes a massive hit, gets to number 2 in the charts, stays in the top 12 for 6 months. With the proceeds he got from writing the music, Friedrich bought a hotel called the Merry Wanderer. The choir still exists to this day. Obviously, different children in it now.
All right.
Because it was 70 years ago.
That's real good stuff. I learned this on YouTube, James, from a commentator called G2 Andrew. Yeah, while we're talking about the krautrock nature of this record.
They're not can.
An early example of krautrock, the Obenkirchen Children's Choir.
Yeah.
G2 Andrew says, those who know their history would know this song is a core part of Caribbean culture. This is the only foreign song to ever win a Carnival Road March title in Trinidad and Tobago. So if G2 Andrew is to be believed, it's got that element to it as well. A folk song, if you like, which, you know, the old folk songs, they're hard to give to a particular culture. They can sound global sometimes, can't they?
Transcending nationality to not only win the Eisteddfod in Wales, but to win a carnival prize in Trinidad.
Yeah.
There's something about this tune that's universal.
I can't picture where I heard it. I don't know. I knew it. I thought, is it in The Sound of Music? I googled The Sound of Music and this song. It doesn't seem to be. There's a song a bit like it, but that do re val de ra. I mean, it seems to be in my musical warp and weft. Where do I know it from?
In my head, there's a music box and you open it and it plays this tune.
Yeah, it's that type of thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that kind of tune.
Yeah. I know a fact about this, James. If there's did you watch the video?
The performance I've seen is them on the Ed Sullivan Show in about 1964. So
That's
I think it's
right.
Different kids. I
would
think.
Be different kids, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It also again made me think, why was Ed Sullivan so popular? Because I've only ever seen him grumpily introduce people. But fair enough. I'm sure there's more to him than that. YouTube comments. A lot of people say it featured in a television series. Any idea? I've watched a series. I can't remember it. But
would it be a series that was something to do with Germany?
No.
So it's not a low. Which is going to be my guess.
Imagine if in a low, Gordon Kaye's character had a few sessions with a psychiatrist. Or
The Sopranos?
That's right.
Is it?
Apparently. But also, it features in other shows, James. Do you know what?
What shows? No, I don't know.
You bring much shame on yourself. Apparently, I was excited when I learned this on YouTube.
I was in The Muppets.
And
The Simpsons.
Yes, it's a double header for you, James.
Why did I not find that? Standards have slipped, haven't they?
What's gone wrong with you?
I don't know.
The one song, no, not the one song that's featured in both. I mean, you didn't mention it either.
It sounds like the kind of song that would definitely be in The Muppets as well.
I'm going to find out Paul McCartney played bass on it a bit.
So I'm just looking at when it was in The Muppets. It was in first episode of series 4.
Yeah, a classic episode.
Yeah, some mountain climbing pigs are singing it.
That's right. And Homer's singing it whilst driving on the way to work. I learned, so.
Oh, it's in like the 7th episode.
Blimey. James, I seem to have sent you in a tailspin here.
I can only apologise. I'm really sorry, everyone.
Look, you haven't let anyone down apart from yourself.
Oh, that's fine. I can live with that.
Number 4.
Up 6 places to number 4. It's Wanted by Perry Como. I should say that there is a version by Al Martino at number 12 in the chart of this exact same song.
Which we will be talking about in depth in our Patreon episode.
That would also eventually get to number 4, but it will stay in the chart for one more week.
It was slightly annoying this week when I thought there's only other 2 records we can talk about, and one of them was exactly the same song. I thought, why are you so cruel, God?
And it's more or less exactly the same.
Very, very similar.
So in America, this gets to number 1 and was the second biggest seller of the year over there. And I quite like it. It's a song about... It's called Wanted, and you think, oh, this is all about going to be a love song. And it is, but Wanted in terms of like almost like a Western-style poster, isn't it? Because he's singing about how she's wanted for breaking his heart and that there's going to be a trial.
That's right.
But he'd let her off because, no, I can't stay mad at you, and so forth.
Very, very appealing. I mentioned in part 1 a lot of the songs have a country tradition to them, apart from the Obenkirchen Children's Choir, which, as we learned, was also Trinidadian and Tobagan, so, you know.
I mean, Germany is a country.
It is true. For more insights, stay tuned to Shooby Dooby Doo Wop. Backed by the Hugo Winterhaler Orchestra, I learned on YouTube. Also, did you watch video?
No, is there one?
There is from singing a few years later. Pretty good it was. A simple shot of him singing it at the back with 5 members of a backing vocalist. 5 members of Can you be a member of a backing vocalist? I think you can. But also, I learned on YouTube, they were members of the Ray Charles Singers. So it's a pretty little performance, this from a few years later. Nip over to YouTube and give it a go.
So he sings about how she was last seen hiding out in someone's arms. He knew nothing of the danger in her charms.
We covered Perry Como in a chart from 1973, I believe.
Yeah, when he surprisingly showed up.
For the good times.
Yeah.
And we really lent heavily into the idea that Perry Como was some kind of sex pest.
Which he wasn't. We should point that out. It was a comedy bit that Andy will just not let go.
I think I'm going to introduce it back into this dynamic while we talk about the remainder of this song. Frankie Hunter on YouTube says, believe it or not, but this wonderful song was a favourite song of the teenage Jimi Hendrix. That's obviously a Jimi Hendrix fan who knows more than we do. Thanks, Frankie Hunter, for that input. I mean, it wouldn't happen, would it? You wouldn't get... Wanted for the perfume.
It's got that sort of classic old croony song feel to it, hasn't it?
Very much. Perry Como trying to get off with a woman who's wanted while he's being all homosexual.
He's the one who wants her. She's not. It doesn't actually say she's wanted by the authorities.
I liked it. It's got the second verse, same as the first, as is a number 1, actually. No spoilers, but it's a simple refrain. It's so good that it stands up to just being repeated again after I've gone through it.
Yeah.
I think it's because the verse and the number 1, actually, which we're going to discuss, obviously, they have a long, twisting, serpentine melody before they return. So there's a way to go. It's a hallmark of a certain style of songwriting.
So it doesn't feel repetitive because it's taken a while.
Yeah, it takes a while. As Perry Como Sexual used to take a while, I heard. Andrew Wadaga says, I remember my mother singing this song when she ironed.
Well, that's very evocative, isn't it?
Have you got a song you'd like to sing when you're ironing?
No, maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do some ironing first. But
that's the point.
Usually,
I could never sing that song because I never do any ironing.
Any old iron.
I was doing a stand-up gig once. We're both comedians. We like to point that out, dot the I's across the T's, because you can't always tell from this. I had a routine about being burgled, because I'd just been burgled once. There I was, started it off, and some wag in the audience shouted, "Did they nick your iron?" Right? And he got such a laugh in the room that I thought I need to sort myself out. FMU 62 says, I'm returning to this after encountering Bob Dylan's praise for Perry in his new book. Bob Dylan, whatever book, it's just here actually. The Philosophy of Modern Song. He wrote, let's call it Dylan-esque nonsense about loads of songs.
What? Why would anyone read that?
Oh, it's a fantastic book, actually. It's really good, but he gives Perry Como some shout-outs. So again, in the world of, we talk about it sometimes, James, don't we? The metal fans who go, I'm a metal fan, but I like this. Because Bob Dylan said he likes Perry Como. Now loads of middle-aged knobheads can say, Perry Como's actually very good because he's got the Dylan blessing. So, Perry Como is saying what's wanted. Shall we have a quiz about what other pop stars are saying about being wanted?
Yeah.
In what you have named Andy's Impossible Quiz.
Yes. Andy will read out a quote from anyone. Sometimes it's a pop star, sometimes it isn't, but he pretends it is. And I have to work out who it is, despite there being no clues whatsoever in the quote.
I was thinking about the lack of clues. So the first few, James, I'm going to give you, I went searching deep for these. There's very specific clues in the quote, and if you don't guess the pop star, you're not a podcast star.
Does that mean I have to stop doing this?
Yeah. There's a lot riding on this quiz this week.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Who said, I think I first realised I wanted to be in country music and be an artist when I was 10. I started dragging my parents to festivals and fairs and karaoke contests. And I did that for about a year before I came to Nashville for the first time. I was 11 and I had this demo CD of me singing Dixie Chicks and Leanne Rimes songs. Who said that then? I mean, you know, come on, there's loads of clues in that.
All right, so they wanted to be in country music.
They were
10 or 11 at the time of
very pushy.
Dixie Chicks. Is it Miley Cyrus? Oh, what the? You can understand why I would think that.
I can. We can't do it. It's Taylor Swift. You got it. That's all right. That was your second guess. We are still on course to be doing a podcast about pop music. Who said, I used to be focused on being the dopest rapper in the game, and then once I become what I wanted something different, and I wanted to become the best businessman in the game. I wanted to learn how to master the business like I mastered the rap.
Well, so a rapper who became a businessman, is it Dr. Dre?
No, it could have been. That's a good guess
you
too.
You could see why I would think that, right?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, okay.
For shizzle.
Snoop Dogg.
You got it.
There we go.
These are hard, so I'll have to give you clues. When I was 6, I opened my mouth and I didn't stop singing. I had a voice and wanted to use it. She's short and sweet.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Woo-hoo-hoo. I never wanted to sing. I just wanted to play rhythm guitar, hide in the back and just play. He didn't hide in the back. He got to the front before he got, as Alan Partridge said, very sad, and someone should have told him.
Kurt Cobain.
You on a roll, James?
I got it from the Alan Partridge reference, of course.
I never wanted to be famous. I only wanted to be great. We have mentioned, actually, just Perry Como, who was singing with his backing vocalists. If you were
Ray Charles.
Well done.
Yeah.
Jesus wanted us to be loving and forgiving. I don't know what makes people so cruel. Who'd have thought he would have said, this fella, while he's just retiring to look after his baby, but I've seen him making loads of albums, putting out loads of singles and doing his radio show, so I'm guessing he doesn't like being at home.
Well, someone who's just retired but hasn't really.
To give you another clue, I asked her, I need some new pots and pans and bed sheets and everything. So I asked my smart speaker to show me something by Home Essentials, and they played me the album by this fella. Free jokes, I'm checking in.
I'm so confused.
It's Elton John.
Oh, okay. Is his album called Home Essentials?
He sounds a bit like homosexual, doesn't he? Don't you get that joke? I've not tried it out live properly.
No, God, don't.
I've tried homosexual. I'm trying homosexual. Actually, I have tried it out loud and it went very well, so... The cool thing about being famous is travelling. I've always wanted to travel across seas, like to Canada and stuff.
So someone who lives across a sea from Canada. So probably British?
No, very American.
Oh, God. It's an American who thinks they have to go across the sea to get to Canada. I mean, I suppose to some parts of it.
Good point, actually.
So it's an American who doesn't know geography, so that doesn't narrow it down.
Possibly because she's not quite a woman yet and she's not quite a girl.
Britney Spears.
You got it. I can feel both the life sapping out of us, James. Let's do one more and get out and dodge about what people wanted. This is another pop star. Finally. Art was, seriously, the only thing I'd ever wanted to own. It had always been for me a stable nourishment. I use it. It can change the way that I feel in the mornings. That's a great quote, isn't it? Before we delve into the fact that you don't know who it is.
I do know who it is.
Do you?
Paul Simon.
Why'd you say that?
Because he wants art. Garfunkel.
All right. So, David Bowie, step aside.
It's not Bowie and Garfunkel.
Yeah. It's a good quote, though, isn't it? I think the idea that art is some kind of nourishment, that's forgotten, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah. I used to think that until I was thrown out of the gallery for nibbling the paintings. Stop licking that statue.
We all prefer things a certain way, like groceries. If you want groceries just how you like them, you gotta try Instacart. They have a new preference picker that lets you pick how ripe or unripe you want your bananas. Shoppers can see your preferences up front, helping guide their choices. Because when it comes to groceries, the details matter. Instacart. Get groceries just how you like.
When it comes to managing money, forget the hype and look at the results. Bill has $1 trillion of secure payments powering our bill pay tools. Instead of just moving money, Bill is powering the financial operations of nearly 500,000 customers. So stop the guesswork and start scaling with the proven choice. Ready to talk with an expert? Visit Bill.com/proven to get started. And grab a $250 gift card as a thank you. Terms and conditions apply. See offer page for details.
Shoot.
Number 3.
It's the non-mover at number 3. It's Billy Cotton with Friends and Neighbours.
And his band.
And his band. Don't forget the Billy Cotton band.
And what was his catchphrase?
Don't know.
Wakey, wakey!
Oh, is that him?
Yes, that's how he would start his radio/TV show that ran for best part of 20 years.
Billy Cotton, when I saw the clip of him on his old television show, he had a very peculiar personality from the clip I saw, being a right grumpy old dodderer.
Was he?
It was appealing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He wasn't showbiz, he wasn't smiling, he just seemed to be slightly...
Curmudgeonly?
Yeah.
He's the second former footballer that we've mentioned in this week's podcast. Okay. He used to play for Brentford and Wimbledon. He was a racing driver, an RAF pilot, Gallipoli veteran and bus driver before starting his own orchestra in 1924. He finished 4th in the 1949 British Grand Prix.
Did he?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Billy Cotton did.
He lived quite a life then, a Renaissance man in some ways.
He entertained the troops in World War II and got his own Sunday lunchtime radio show in 1949. In 1956, it was also on the TV and it would run until his death in 1969. Who is his great-great-niece?
Now, a little bit like the quiz we've just done, I'm going to need a clue. Was it Dot?
Not Dot Cotton.
Nick Cotton?
No, because they're fictional. You're looking for
was it polyester?
No, you're looking for a female... because niece, whose surname is Cotton.
Not Fern.
Why not Fern?
No, because it must be Fern.
It's Fern Cotton.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's not as grumpy as Billy with her wellness podcast and everything, but this song itself, it's not a grumpy song at all. It's got a beautiful spirit, hasn't it, James?
Yeah, it's about how we all need friends and neighbours to make our lives amazing.
Let's dig into the lyrics. When you've got friends and neighbours, all the world is happier place. Friends and neighbours put a smile on the gloomiest face. Just take your little troubles and share them with the folks next door. Makes it twice as easy to bear them. That's what friends are for. You get the gist, that kind of sentiment.
Does that mean I have to put up with their troubles as well?
I suppose inherently that would imply that, yeah.
Fine.
Well, let's do that first. Absolutely. Friends and neighbours. As we learn on YouTube comments, there's loads of comments. You could leave your door open. Everyone was really nice to each other. Maybe it's got a different meaning in 1954 to how we interpret friends and neighbours these days.
Maybe that's why the crime rate was so high, because everyone left their doors open all the time.
If you've got friends and neighbours, that is something money won't buy. You can hold your head up high, although you've not got a penny. Your house may be tumbling down. With friends and neighbours, you're the richest man in town, etc., etc.
Ironically, people who are really, really rich, they go and live in big houses in the middle of nowhere and they don't have neighbours. So not only are neighbours something money can't buy, they're something people pay money to get away from.
Yes. So Billy Cotton with them would sing, when you've got staff to clean up and etc. I like the chords. They're very all in the major key. It's a hokey song, isn't it? It's got them sort of turn out ding 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 ding. You can hear everything. Then it's going there. Then it probably goes over there, and you better do that type of feel. Lovely.
Yeah. Well, it's a TV theme tune.
Is it?
Yes, there was a TV show called Friends and Neighbours, which has been lost. It's one of them lost TV shows.
No, there were 2 TV shows, James. One called Friends and one called Neighbours. So Billy Cotton could have got double bubble if he sold it to this.
Do you want to get into that?
Please.
All right, because of course, both of those songs, of course, had notable theme tunes that charted.
Yes.
So who had the hit with the Friends theme tune?
I'll be there for glue. Copyright.
By the Rembrandts in 1995, got to number 3. The Neighbours theme tune got to number 83 in March 1988 for Barry Crocker.
That's all, number 83.
Or In April 1988, and this is genuinely true, Des O'Connor spent 1 week at number 100 with his cover version of the Neighbours theme tune. I've heard it. It is not good. Or, in December 1988, Dame Edna Everage got to number 83 with their cover version of the Neighbours theme tune. It's As You Would Expect. Or, in 1989, the Neighbours cast singing a version of the Neighbours theme tune in a sort of slightly dancey late 80s remix way gets to number 80. So Friends has been by far the bigger hit. But okay. Neighbours has been knocking around the bottom end of the chart 4 times.
A lot of people are pointing out on YouTube it's similar to Shine on Harvest Moon, which has got that feel, hasn't it? Shine on Harvest Moon. Whatever it is.
Written by Malcolm Lockyer and lyricist Marvin Scott. The TV show that doesn't exist, no one can see it anymore, starred Avril Angers. Do you know who she is? No. At the time she was known as the British Lucille Ball. And Peter Butterworth off of the Carry On films.
Okay. It's corny as hell, but if you're open-minded to the notion of friends and neighbours being great in your life, then you're going to like this song, aren't you?
It's exactly the kind of song you'd expect Max Bygraves to do on one of his Sing-Along Max albums.
Yeah. Robert Reborable says, all the creature comforts and modern technology we have today mean very little when we lose community. So there's that.
I have a feeling that this song is being used as a sounding board for people who've got some opinions.
Peter Rapley says, one part of this song makes me think of a Pontins Holiday from 1982. Scooby Dev says, who is here from back alleyway on Roblox? Probably no one, but maybe this song was used on the computer game Roblox. I mean, it'd be weird. Wow. I didn't do the research. No. I didn't sit there with a control in my hand trying to find that part of the game.
I mean, if it wasn't, it would explain why no one's there from it.
Did you watch a video?
No.
All right. So nip over to YouTube, have a look at a video posted by a fella called Werner Paul. Now, it's in 2.5 minutes. It just shows loads of a compilation, if you like. He edits his own video to this song, and it shows Billy Cotton and his band. It shows gigs by him. It shows old record labels and promotional photos. It shows television appearances. It shows Radio Times covers. It shows tickets for shows. And gloriously, at the end, it shows a screenshot of that song playing on Spotify, bringing it right up to date. But I don't feel I do this often enough, James. A lot of the times on YouTube, people are making their own art, aren't they, to keep these songs alive for knobheads like me and you to talk about. Thanks, Werner Paul, and everyone else. But hey, I'm going to shout out YouTube creators in my final thanks.
Number 2.
It's a non-mover at number 2. It's a former number 1. It's the nabob of sob, Johnny Ray, with Such a Night.
Poor old Johnny Ray.
Broke 1 million hearts in mono. But not with this song. This is an upbeat song. This is a party song.
Yeah.
This is a rock and roll song.
I know this song. Did you know it from this week?
Well, I know the Elvis Presley version of it. And I know the Elvis Presley version of it because of the Elvis Dead.
Rob Kemp, the beautiful comedian, did a show about Elvis and the Living Dead, didn't he?
Yes, so if you haven't heard of it, The Elvis Dead is a show done by the comedian Rob Kemp where he acts out the movie Evil Dead 2 using the songs of Elvis Presley. And this is the song he does right at the end of the show.
Okay.
Like the encore song.
That's good.
And I've spoken to Rob about it, and he says that he thinks it's such a great song for that purpose in the show, but he worries that it's like not a big enough Elvis hit.
It's not one of his...
No.
Yeah, all right.
Because I'd never heard it until he did it. But yeah, Elvis does eventually do a version of this about 10 years later.
1960, he does a version of this song on his album Elvis Is Back, which was his first one from returning from the army, as I read as a young boy. But before I heard the song, some book I was reading, they said Elvis salts up the sex in this version. But, you know, Johnny Ray, he's not shy, is he?
No, it is a sexy song. In fact, it was banned by the BBC for being too sexy.
Yes, Square's BBC squashing the news again. Haven't the BBC done enough without banning Johnny Ray for expressing his libido? Did you watch the video?
No.
There's a couple of versions of him singing it. The real good is he's all, clutching his head, and he pops his jacket over his head at one point, and he's clicking his heels and all the kiss and pow stuff. But I liked it very much before he introduced the song, because he says, this is a sort of strange thing that goes through a boy's mind when he walks home alone after a goodnight kiss. I'd never really considered that song in that way. It's so specific, isn't it? But there he is, just give you a sweetheart, a bit of a kiss. It wasn't that. Ooh, he's kind of crazy, the narrator in this, isn't he? He's ecstatic at what's just happened, and it's only, in inverted commas, been a little kiss.
And knowing what we know now about Johnny Ray, that does kind of bring a different meaning to it.
Yeah, because of his gayness, he's saying, and his troubled life.
His sexuality, yes. Nick Cohen said that Johnny Ray was John the Baptist to Elvis's Jesus. Would you go along with that?
I don't know. I mean, Elvis, as we mentioned in the intro, he's just recorded his demo. He's just about to record at this time of this chart, That's All Right Mama, a spontaneous moment where Elvis invented rockabilly. So I don't know. I mean, but there's certainly some Presley-esque moves and sentiment in this performance.
Is there any evidence that Elvis Presley was channeling Johnny Ray at some point? Did he ever say Johnny Ray was a big influence on me?
I don't know.
Or is that something that's been imposed by other people?
I don't know. I mean, I can believe that he was. Elvis was a sponge. He soaked up a lot, didn't he?
Yeah.
He obviously soaked this up to do a version of it later.
Yeah. We should also say that this in itself is a cover version. It was originally by The Drifters. Yeah. It was a B-side to their song Lucille, written by Lincoln Chase. Are you aware of Lincoln Chase?
Nope.
He wrote Jim Dandy. You know that song?
Laverne Baker.
He also wrote, and these are all by the same person, The Nitty Gritty,
Shirley Ellis.
Yeah, The Name Game, and The Clapping Song.
Well, they're three of my favourite ever records. Well, thank you for your contribution to the panoply of pop.
Yeah, there is someone has put together a Spotify playlist of Lincoln Chase songs.
Thanks, Lincoln.
It's a lot of fun to listen to.
I bet.
So this is like a rock and roll song, and it's quite relentless in that the backing is
yeah,
and it's that all the way through.
It was, and that. Go on, you do a little bit. I'll change the words for copyright. It was a pair of. Wait until I've started.
When do you want me to come in? I'm not musical. You have to point at me.
1, 2, 3. It was a pair of tights. It was a pair of tights. I really tried on that night. They were tights. This pair of tights tried them such a night. Well, they came in sheer and then some fishnets. You can bet they couldn't get them off. Yeah, right.
And it's that all the way through, which is such a stark contrast to everything else. Even the Four Nights song we talked about, which was a bit rock and roll-y, it doesn't have that kind of relentless rhythm to it.
Yeah, I mean, even at the end when he's going, such a night, and the next we think that's over. Well, I gave my heart to her in sweet surrender. Oh, well, I remember I had a ladder in those tights. Yeah, all right. Yes, relentless, rocking, sexy as hell. Great words to it about an ecstatic point of view. I saw, while we're not banging about Elvis, there was a version I saw on a later one of those New Year's Eves that Bublé sang, old Michael Bublé. It's a great bit of performing this was. He wanted to get the room going. And how he did it was he went over to Ruby Turner, I think it was.
Ruby Turner was there? Who knew?
And Roland Rivron. Who'd have thought he'd get out the house?
I have a feeling they're his hostages, you know.
Yeah, Jules Holland just gives Ruby Turner and Roland Rivron. Yeah. I like the way this is going.
Anyway, you were saying, he goes over to
Ruby Turner, sings it to her personally, if you like, starts showing off in front of her, doing a little bit of a sexy dance. Ruby Turner's obviously pleased, and it lights the room up. It's a good bit of performance, isn't it? Rather than that thing of, hey, everybody at the back, or as Kiss once said, did they say?
Yeah. Hey, everybody out there.
Everybody out there.
This is a song for all of you people out there.
Bublé doesn't do that to get the room going. He does it for all the Ruby Turners, with Roland Rivron looking on in jealousy. I'm a grandpa says, sounds like possum crap compared to Elvis.
Wow, that's harsh.
Fivoko turns up, a couple of comments down, says, I think you're talking about yourself, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I know you are, but what am I? Nothing about any of that exchange works well for anyone.
Alex Bernard 8907 reckons Johnny was one of the first singers maybe to take the microphone from the stand and put it in his hand. That's something, isn't it? We have never talked about Johnny Ray. He invented taking the mic out the stand.
Did he? Did no one do that before then? I don't know how you would check.
Who did Johnny Ray appear in a music video in the late 80s, I think?
Well, there was that song that was like, Are You Johnny Ray? Who Wants to Know? Who Wants to Know?
Who sings that?
It was some guy And it never really got anywhere, but it was like heavily. I remember it was on like all the sort of going lives and things in the morning and stuff, and I don't think anyone bought it. But he was definitely mentioned in lyric. Obviously, he's in the lyrics of "Come On, Eileen," but I don't think it's that. No, what? Tell me.
Shyman99 on YouTube says Johnny Ray was the ultimate animated performer. Even his subdued performance in Billy Idol's Don't Need a Gun music video was an awkward yet memorable performance. Because there's a line in that song that says Johnny Ray is always crying, apparently. So, yeah. I had no idea he would be knocking about to perform in a Billy Idol video.
I've never heard of that song, to be fair.
Mate, look, it's YouTube. It might all be made up. It's got a key change in it, the final one this week. I like the bit that goes, and she's gone, 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 on yet gone, gone, gone. Came the dawn, 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 and my love was gone. This big, and before that dawn, yes, before that dawn, and before that dawn. He's out of control, he's out of night. Lovely.
You can see why the BBC banned it.
Pretty sexy.
Yeah. Do you think we don't know, but you'd like to imagine that in 1954, when people are buying these records, this is the one the young people are buying, is it? Yeah. This is the kids going, get with it, Daddy-O, this is where the future is.
I don't know if it is the kids, actually, because the idea of...
But, the teenagers.
Economy, and all that. The teenagers, did they have money? I suppose a couple of them did, didn't they?
They're too busy buying meat, probably.
Too busy snapping up the meat while they could get it.
The UK's number one.
It's an non-mover at number one. It's Secret Love by Doris Day.
So having spent 1 week at number one in April, it then goes back to number one 3 weeks later and stays for 2 months. Does 9 weeks in total. Absolutely massive hit. Also an American number one, 4th of 9 UK top 10 hits, and 1st of 2 UK number ones. What's her other UK number one?
Que Sera Sera.
It is Que Sera Sera, yes.
Disappointing. Yes. I got that first. I wanted to mention loads of Doris Day songs.
It's from the movie Calamity Jane.
Yeah.
IMDb rating 7.2. You've seen that, right?
A while ago.
Yeah, I've seen it loads. When I was a kid, it was on one Sunday afternoon, and I think my mom was like, "Oh, Calamity Jane's on, let's watch this." And we all watched it as a family. It was great because it's Calamity Jane. It's got songs in it, and Doris Day being charming and everything, and it's in the Wild West. And the next day at school, so I would have been in primary school, so I would have been about 6 or 7. I remember getting to school, and in the playground, some of the boys in my class were going, "Hey, did you see it yesterday?" And I assumed they meant Calamity Jane. So I went, "Yeah." And it turns out they were talking about the first ever episode of the A-Team, which had been on the night before, which I hadn't seen. I had, in fact, seen Calamity Jane. And that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about my childhood.
Well done, James. I appreciate that personal tale. John Taylor on YouTube says, my late father loved 2 things, Westerns and Doris Day. Calamity Jane was his favourite, and he called her his girlfriend. I remember that, Dad. Do you remember my girlfriend's on? I liked it. Loads of people on YouTube were saying they'd had dreams about her somehow. This seemed to be a peculiar subtext to Doris Day comments of people saying, I had a dream last night Doris Day was there. Weird. Liked it.
Now, what is the noticeable thing about this song as opposed to the other songs in this chart?
I don't know.
Well, it's just so long. It's 3 minutes 40 seconds.
Is it?
In fact, it was considered too long for the radio, so they put out a shorter cut.
Yet it flies by, I'm going to say. I thought that this week, James. Let me do it early before we dig into the nuts and bolts. I was thinking, listening to it, I was thinking, that's a simple song. I was thinking it goes, once I had this, I'll do fast, secret love. I thought it went, that little deep in the heart of me, yeah. Secret love. Thought it was a 2-chorder, yeah? Simple. But then, again, with all the songs, I often wrong when I say it's just this and it's just the other. This was very different because it's got sort of, once I had a secret love. There's more chords in it, a little bit hard of me. Secret love.
It's really disconcerting you playing it that fast.
Station to be free. Listen. You like it?
It's just weird that it's this quick.
I'm saying it's good. You know that thing going, no secret anymore. Another thing I was going on about it takes a long time, whatever the other song was.
To cycle back around again. Yeah. Wanted. Yeah.
So it's a journey, this song.
And it comes right at the end of Calamity Jane when she finally reveals that she loves Wild Bill Hickok, played by Howard Keel.
That's right.
Legend is that Doris Day cycled to the studio, recorded this in one take, and the producer was like, yep, you're not going to do it better than that. Off you go.
Do you know, I'm just going to scribble out a comment from Dard Dude on YouTube who says exactly the same. So, all right, great.
Well, that's the legend anyway.
Reminded me a little bit of when we talked about Celine Dion with the Titanic song, My Heart Will Go On. She just went in, recorded one verse, and they said, that's fine, you're never going to do it better. So maybe there's something about the chanteuse and the film soundtrack that only requires one hot shot. Sorry, I said hot shot and started thinking of K-Star again.
It won the Academy Award for Best Song, beating That's Amore, among others. Doris Day didn't want to sing it at the ceremony, so they got Anne Blythe to fill in for her and sing the song. Anne Blythe was pregnant at the time, and noticeably so. Yeah. So when she was singing about how her secret love isn't secret anymore, got a few laughs.
Okay.
At time of recording, Anne Blythe is the oldest surviving Oscar nominee at age 97. So that happened. Doris Day says, I don't want to sing it at the ceremony. They get someone else to sing it. It wins the Oscar. You think, well, that's the end of it. But no. The Hollywood Women's Press Club gave Doris Day the Sour Apple Award for being an uncooperative celebrity, which led to Doris Day staying in her house for several weeks with depression.
I hope she didn't go and collect that award just to prove the point. What, they gave an award for being more awkward?
The Sour Apple Award for being uncooperative. Other winners of the Sour Apple Award, which was a thing for 60 years.
Was it? I go to tour a lot of the regional theatres. I always as staff. Is Jim Davidson on there?
No, because it's a Hollywood thing. So winners include Elvis, Joan Rivers, and Frank Sinatra 3 times. Just seems very mean-spirited, doesn't it?
I feel for these people, of course, you know. The idea that you're famous and everyone wants... We've seen it even with people who've been on Mock the Week once, don't we? This kind of clamour for their attention and stuff. So you can imagine this one, I'm not in the mood now. You sour apple. I'll start calling you a sour apple. It's good.
Many cover versions exist.
Yes, go on.
Including Kathy Kirby.
Yes.
Got to number 4 in 1963. But there are also versions by Caterina Valente. Thought that would get your attention. Loretta Lynn, Sinead O'Connor, and George Michael.
The Sinead O'Connor version is great. I'll give you a little nudge towards that. And also Selecta, you know.
Selecta
they've got a version, and that's a little skanker. Maybe that's why I played it so fast, because we're a little homage to Selecta.
Out magazine described this song as the first gay anthem.
Yeah, okay, Secret Love, it makes sense, doesn't it?
The whole Calamity Jane thing, people read into that because it's about 2 women who live together, one of whom is very outdoorsy.
All right, I learned on YouTube that it's featured in a film called Secret Love, and that film was about 2 lesbians that presented as friends, if you know what I mean. So there's that.
Lifelong companions, as they used to say.
Yeah.
When she was 89, someone asked Doris Day, what do you think of the song being embraced by the gay community? And she said, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, of course.
All for it.
She was a keen advocate for animals as well as the gay community, yeah?
Are you saying they're the same?
No, you.
No, you are.
You are. It's such. Corinne E. Urowski says it's such a relief to hear someone who doesn't freak out and scream when they sing.
Who's she been listening to?
I don't know. Bully Boxer, he says, how great was life back then? No conflicts of religion or ethnicity.
What, in the 50s? My God.
That's what Bully Boxer reckons. It's only a recent thing.
Just read a history book, guys.
Oh, this is good. I didn't read a history book. I read YouTube comments. While someone was watching the video, who was it who said it doesn't matter? They pointed out James. She's singing it to a horse, isn't she? In the video, or a horse is about.
Yeah, it's in the Wild West.
Someone on YouTube reckons a horse has a brain the size of a pea. Do you know anything about that?
No, I'm not.
Have you not done that research?
No, I'm not a horse doctor. I didn't think this would come up in our pop music podcast. Forgive me.
I was going to look into it and thought, why ruin a beautiful mystery?
Music by Sammy Fain, lyrics by Paul Francis Webster. 2 years later, they win the Oscar again for Love Is a Many Splendid Thing. Between them, they have 26 Oscar nominations. And Paul Francis Webster also co-wrote the theme tune to Spider-Man.
Right. You're so pleased with this fact, aren't you?
Yeah. I love that the theme to Spider-Man is linked to Secret Love.
Yeah. Good old songwriters. We're going to thank them as well as the YouTube creators at the end. Hang on, let me remember that. Nearly there now. This is a good point about this song, I thought, James. I know you'll be married for a long time, but nonetheless, I'm introducing it. Henry Horner, 3182, says, is there a man alive today who does not have a secret memory of a lost love, a memory he cannot, dare not mention, yet he can never allow himself to forget? Yeah.
Is there a man alive?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Stop it. It's a good point, I think. Not you, James, but a lot of people have the notion of a lost love, don't they? Someone that they could never mention again. This song has a depth to it, I think, that if you're not broadcasting to millions and millions of people on the internet, you might be more inclined to explore. It's the secret love notion. Yeah.
It was about unrequited love, isn't it? But at the end, it is requited, or at least it's not secret.
Why do you think? Yeah, it's not requited. The reading of this song, anything could have happened at the end.
I'm thinking it is requited because in the film, obviously, they get together. So just the song on its own terms, you're right, it isn't requited necessarily.
I mean, just to end it, James, with my occasional look into what's Doris Day up to these days, I Googled it. I learned the fact that K-Star's record was played in a field and loads of cows went running towards it, which I wanted to mention. I told you in the idiot break and you said I can't. But in news here, there's a cat in Tottington called Doris Day who's been reunited with her owner after 5 months of being lost. Do you think that's a good place to end this week?
Yeah, might as well. So there you have it, a top 10 from the early days of the charts.
The really early days. We're not going to go back much more before this, are we? Partially because of the random nature and also partially because there's not that many charts relatively before it.
So what has been your favourite this week?
It's a good question, which we always ask. Do you know, I have dug it all in its own peculiar way, this top 10, but if I have to choose one, which I kind of have to do for the purpose of this, I'm going to go for K-Star.
Okay.
Number 10.
Yeah.
And if not that, Perry Como, I love him with his sex philandering ways, and also Such a Night. I love that. I like them all, James. What about you?
The one that has really got in there for me is The Gang That Sang The Heart of My Hearts by Max Bygraves.
Okay.
Who knew I'd be a Max Bygraves fan, but that's where we are now. Thank you, podcast.
I would like to thank all the artists who recorded these songs. I would like to thank the record buying public who put them in the top 10. I would like to thank all the songwriters. I would like to thank the YouTubers who make videos for this. Who else did I say I was going to thank? Only just
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Thanks a lot for doing whatever a spider can.
Remember to rate and review wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram at Shooby Podcast, or Facebook at Shooby Dooby Doo Up. And you can become a supporter of us and help this podcast continue by going to patreon.com/Shooby Podcast and get access to the bonus tracks episode, which, to be fair, this week is going to be a bit short.
We'd appreciate it. We'd also appreciate you writing us a review because, you know, that's just the nature of the world these days. You understand why. We don't have to explain everything. Whatever you do in the meantime, Shooby Dooby Doo Up.
Bop bop shoo up.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.